With news that even British Telecom will soon be pumping a multi-lane information highway through your telephone into your middle ear and debiting you with a bill you won't even know about until the bank sends a van to take you away, who better to guide you through the digital maze than our frozen-faced, media-wise advisor for tonight, Whispering Paul Merton. Oh, Paul, you've been confronting this avalanche of printed information for us. What world trends are emerging?
World trends? Well, there's a story about the cuckoo that was very interesting. There was this cuckoo that was found sort of like badly injured in Britain, and a bird lover came across it and started nursing this cuckoo back to health. And somehow British Airways got hold of the idea and said, well, wouldn't it be a good idea if we flew the cuckoo to Africa, where it's much warmer, and, you know, it can recover better? It seems rather extravagant. I think you should just bunged it in an airing cupboard. But so it flew British Airways to Nairobi, club class, I think. And somebody in Nairobi took it upon themselves to look after this cuckoo and asked the general public, you know, I need lots of caterpillars for the cuckoo. It's a big cuckoo, I need lots of caterpillars. Send me all your caterpillars. So somebody sent a caterpillar that had some kind of insecticide on it, and the cuckoo ate it and died. But I reckon there's another story. I reckon somebody wanted that cuckoo dead. It may have been a KGB agent. It may have had an argument with another bird, you know, like a sparrow coming at it with a baseball bat or something. But it seems bizarre that it went, you know, whoever it was wanted that cuckoo dead, even if it meant following it all around the world. There's another story there we're not hearing, I think.
You're seeing deep into these stories.
I think so, yeah.
I was personally very interested in the technicalities of whales mating with other creatures.
Yes, it is. It's sad, really, that because there's so very few blue whales left, that the blue whale now is mating with other species of whale. And I wondered whether, you know, and this is probably bad news for female deep-sea divers. If the whale's desperate, it's anything, really. And you get pregnant with a blue whale, and, I mean, that's a nightmare. The bulge is going to be enormous. I mean, never mind trying to get a seat on a bus. Getting on the bus is going to be a problem. And if the whale gets a taste for it, you might be a woman in a disco, you know, a tap on the shoulder. There's a blue whale standing there in a suit, reeking of aftershave. Blue Stratos, maybe. You know, giving you a big smile with loads of plankton sticking between its teeth. And then, you know, you've got to have the baby, and you go to the hospital, you know, you have the baby. Is it a boy or a girl? Well, we don't know, really. It's got a spout.
Let's move on to the subject of philanthropy. I noticed the Princess of Wales has been rescuing stranded motorists.
Yes, it was a very good deed. There was a couple who were, I think, were driving through Hammersmith, and they broke down, their car broke down, and they're stuck on the hard shoulder, and they didn't know what to do, and all this traffic going past them, rather sort of scary. And Princess Diana turned up, just driving past, and stopped and got her mobile phone out and dialed for help, and then drove off. And, you know, wonderful thing to do, but it made me sort of think, you know, people are always saying, well, the royal family needs a role, you know, you need a new role in society. Why didn't they become AA servicemen? The AA membership would soar if you knew that when you broke down, there was a good chance that you'd dial a number and Princess Margaret turns up with a toolbox. You know, standing on the side of the road. Oh, hello, Your Majesty. How long have you been broken down? About an hour and a half. Keep it up, you know, all this sort of thing. Well, I think it's the radiator, Princess Margaret. Doesn't seem to need water in it. Oh, well, I've got some bottles of liquid in the van, but none of them are water, unfortunately.
What about the Queen Mother? Would she be part of the team?
Oh, yes, I think you should make her head of the Rapid Response Unit. I can get to you in April. 1998. Books.
Arts. A book has been published this week. I read it in one of the papers. And it says, it advances the proposition that taller men earn more than smaller men. Yes.
It's one of these ridiculous surveys. I'm sure it's here somewhere. I'm sure it must be American. These things usually are, aren't they? It says here that it's the book about you, apparently. It says, the book of you. And it says here that a man with a beard will scare children under 12 much more than a clean-shaven fella. You can tell it's the same, but it's fella spelled F-E-L-L-A. I mean, how do you work that out? How do you test that? Do you have sort of minibuses of clean-shaven men going around playgrounds, you know, trying to terrorise children, and the beardies go out the next day and say, oh, look, we got 63% there. One of us had sideburns, so I don't know if that counts at all. And there's another one here. This is what I found extraordinary, because this is, I don't know, any of the men would either confirm or deny this. It's certainly not true in my experience. If you are a man using a public urinal, you'll wait a minute longer before you go if someone walks in. You take the gents at Victoria Station, for example. There's men in and out of there the whole time. I mean, you'd have to live there. 24 hours a day, burst into urinate. Mind you, there are a lot of men hanging around there, so maybe that's what's going on, I don't know. It's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. But it's one of those things that, again, sort of fills papers, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, I haven't seen a paper in the last few weeks that hasn't had at some time or another a sex survey. And one of them has come up with the information that women prefer chocolate to sex. Yes. Does this match up with your experience?
Yeah. Sadly. You can't beat a bit of Bournvita. You see, that's Bourneville or whatever. I don't know, it depends, sort of like, it depends what the chocolate is, and it depends who the person is. You know, if somebody says to you, would you rather have a Cadbury's Dairy Flake or have sex with an Argentinian pig, then unless you particularly were not very fond of Cadbury's Flake, you'd go for that. Or, you know, if somebody said there's a walnut whip or sex with Kenneth Clark, no, you'd go for the walnut whip, really, wouldn't you? But no, if you didn't like walnut whips, you'd sort of say, well, yeah, maybe Kenneth Clark, you know, if he's got a nice suit on. Weekend of aftershave, blue stratus, plankton between his teeth, you might go for it. You might go. It's just sort of nonsense, really, isn't it?
Why are we, and by we I don't mean you or me, I mean people generally in Britain, why so preoccupied with sex?
I think we can't get it, I think that's what it is. Oh, we're not talking about me and you. Oh, so you were talking about me. I don't know, it's sort of, it's odd, isn't it? There's a guy this week, there was a very funny story. You don't know if these things are true, but maybe it is. There's a man who, every time he had a row with his girlfriend, he nicked a double-decker bus. And he drove it to her house and used to sort of beep the horn outside the house, you know, till 3 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, well, you could use this to your advantage, really, because if you knew the pub he drank in, and say you wanted a lift home, you could say, your girlfriend's knocking off a bloke in Wilmot Terrace. I'll come with you, I don't mind ringing the bell. Or, you know, or if you fancy going down to the dogs, I've just seen her down the dog track with a bloke. All right, I'm off, all right, I'll hang on the back.
Paul, I know you've got a big, important show coming up at the Palladium, and you must be hard at work preparing for it. So for those outreaching insights into the print miasma, thank you very much, Paul Merton.
Thank you.
And now, commerce. And this program is proud to demonstrate how the information highway will allow the distribution throughout the world of new inventions that will benefit the human condition. One recent American discovery is the Pro Shiatsu personal massage device. It's hard to imagine how it works unless you see it in action, and now you can.
When stress takes its toll, wouldn't it be great to have your very own personal masseuse to soothe and relieve tension? When routine jobs become painful, wouldn't it be great to call on a shiatsu massage therapist to melt away sore, aching muscles? There's nothing that soothes, relaxes, and relieves aches and pains like the Pro Shiatsu massager. Now you can enjoy the luxury of a massage in the comfort and privacy of your own home. It's easy to use. Simply apply Pro Shiatsu wherever you need it. Anytime, anywhere. It never gets tired. Pro Shiatsu Deep Soothing Massage actually gets right to the pressure points, providing instant relief. Pamper aching feet with a soothing and relaxing massage. It works miracles on the lower back and improves circulation on calves and thighs. Imagine getting a relaxing massage at the office while you work. Don't delay. Order now.
Take it from me. The Pro Shiatsu device will transform your muscle tone while giving you hours of harmless pleasure.